Hi, this is Dwayne Grice. I'm with Vern Howard. Vern was a victim of an armed robbery here in downtown Statesboro on Friday night. He was robbed by gunpoint here. Again, we're in downtown Statesboro, right in the center of downtown. So, Vern, tell us a little bit about the horrific event that you went through. And gosh, you're so lucky.
The event itself was very frightening, in that the man pulled a gun, put it to my head on the outside of this area in downtown Statesboro, and I was quite frightened and quite in shock. Now, that's the event itself. The aftermath is that there's a lot of anger, a lot of prayer for the man, and there's a hypervigilance that came from this. So that's where I stand with it, Dwayne.
So this facility is an AA kind of a facility where men's groups come and work. And tell us kind of your role and why you were here.
I'm the owner-director of the Damascus Rehabilitation Center for Men. We treat men for long-term residential treatment for substance abuse. We rent this building for group counseling on Tuesday nights and Friday nights.
So y'all had a group of men here. The building was full of people, and you went out to your vehicle, which was kind of parked out here in the parking lot. And I'll open up to a wide shot so we can kind of see where our vehicles are parked. So you came to your vehicle, and there was someone hiding that came up on you. Kind of talk through that a little bit.
As I went to my vehicle and opened the door, the man apparently came from behind my vehicle, maybe was crouched down, wearing dark clothing, a stocking hat, approached me at the vehicle and put a gun to my head. He never spoke, nor did I speak.
Right.
But he robbed me at the gunpoint.
So then at that point, you actually struggled with the gentleman a little bit, and you screamed for people inside to hopefully hear you, but they didn't. So that had to be a scary, scary few minutes.
It was, and you know what? Rather than being minutes, it was probably seconds. And I did struggle with the man, and I don't know if I was naive, but I did. I held him with my door, and I screamed for these men to help me, and they didn't hear me because of the chatter and the doors being closed.
So the guy fled on foot, and you said you saw a car waiting, so he had an accomplice that they fled in. And you've given a description of the gentleman to the police department, but I know they probably have put that out, but do you mind kind of telling us a description of what you know? I guess it's kind of difficult.
That's right, and not to be disrespectful to any race, he was a black man. And he was probably a couple inches taller than me. He was maybe 25 to 30 years old. And other than that, I couldn't give a lot of description other than the clothing he was wearing, which were dark. And he did flee to another vehicle where there was someone waiting. He got into the passenger side of the vehicle, and they sped away.
Approximately what time was this?
This was at about 6:30 on Friday night.
But it was already dark, obviously, because sun's setting early now. And I think another important point is the money that the gentleman stole was these gentlemen's money, because you have a process. Can you talk through that, how you do that?
Yes, I collect their money for them to pay for their way through treatment. They're hardworking men trying to get their lives back together, and in reality, this man did steal their money. So it makes it difficult for them to trust again, and that's what we're trying to promote with them. They will know that I will help them through this. I will cover their money, and they will continue to be counseled.
If the community wanted to help, if somebody in the community, because this money pays for their food and their rent, and you basically take the money from them and you help manage their bills, basically is what you do for these people. And again, they're working in a job and trying to do treatment and just get their life back on track. And you have a great success track record in our community for decades of working with these type people. So if someone in the community wanted to help, how would they make a contribution to maybe sponsor one of these gentlemen or to help you in some way monetarily?
Dwayne, we are a nonprofit organization. I call our men the Dirty Dozen. We work through our own problems. I appreciate that sort of offer would be there from the community. I would prefer that these men learn a lesson from this, is not to take a handout from others, that we will survive. This did not break the bank, but these men need to learn something from this. So I appreciate that.
Well, that's very commendable of you, and it says a lot about these gentlemen that you're trying to help in our community. I want to, before we end here, I want to just kind of spin the camera around a little bit so you can kind of get an idea. We're on Cherry Street, one block. That is that building you see there is the Methodist Church on South Main Street. Chamber of Commerce is on your left. That's the Ag South compound there, the Ag South Bank. You see the courthouse here. And City Hall. I mean, we're literally one block from City Hall, and this is the, we used to be Northland Cable Vive now, the warehouse, and then this trail, this is the Willie McTell Trail, and then right behind him over his shoulder is the dog park, which is very popular. In fact, we see folks in the park right now. So this is I mean, we're literally in the middle of the business district in downtown Statesboro, Vern. So this isn't like we were out in the county or in some seedy part of town. I mean, this is the center of town.
That's right. And you know, we would think that Statesboro would not have this sort of thing in downtown Statesboro. It's someone who's not living a good life. I pray for him. He must have a mom and a grandmama and maybe some children too.
Well, again, that's very commendable of you. And I'm sorry you've had to go through this ordeal, but I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and our viewers, to let them know what's going on. So during this holiday season and the next few weeks, we can all, as you said, be more vigilant about what we're doing and kind of paying attention to our personal safety.
Right. Thank you very much for the interview. Maybe this will get out and it'll cause others to be a little more vigilant or even hyper vigilant, especially during the holidays.
Well, thank you. And we will post the tips number and the phone number to the police department. They have an anonymous tip line. There was an accomplice in the vehicle. Maybe somebody saw something on Friday night around 6:30 that didn't look right, and this will kind of jar their memory, and they will call, and hopefully they can abduct this guy or arrest this guy pretty quickly and get him where he belongs, back behind bars.
Thank you very much. I agree.